was fishy that we thought maybe the car was stolen, so we didn't know. They put it in the NCIC as a stolen vehicle, and you can keep that VIN in there forever. So they ran the VIN on it and found out it was still an NCIC as a stolen car. So many memories, so many years. I mean, I can't even explain.
I mean, it's coaching in cars, man.
A lot of limiting beliefs out there, thinking, how in the world am I going to accomplish something like that?
Not dissimilar to anybody.
The greatest risk we were afraid of that did not come to fruition is...
If I started a new business tomorrow, the first thing I would do is hire a coach.
All right, so we got a little bit of a special episode today. I actually have my dad here with me, all the way from Kansas to South Carolina, and we're gonna tell the story of the '69 Camaro and how it came into our family. And really, it kind of goes. A lot of people look at this car and they think, "Oh, he's just a kid. He bought it that way." But there's actually a lot of history in this family with this car. So I wanted to bring my dad. He was out visiting us for a vacation, and I wanted to bring him on camera and kind of tell the story from the beginning. So I know you bought the car in '77.
Yep.
So let's rewind maybe a year or two before that. You were in the market for a Camaro. So what kind of like captured your eye about a Camaro, and specifically an SS Camaro?
Not specifically an SS, but I mean a Camaro, first gen Camaro, I don't know. Just something about them. I was brought up drag racing and always saw these Camaros on a drag strip and just loved them.
Yeah.
And we're Chevy guys, so
Yeah.
that's how it goes. I mean, that's what we wanted. You got the Novas, you got the Chevelles and stuff, but Camaros just kind of caught my eye. So
yeah, and you found, well, you looked, did you look at multiple ones before you found this one? So this was the one that you found. It
pretty
was
much first.
It was
one,
in
yeah.
the Hutchinson.
It was in
Kansas.
like in Hutch, because see, we didn't have internet back then. So
Yeah.
Dad picked up the newspaper and said, "Hey, there's this '69 Camaro. You want to go look at it?" Sure.
Yeah.
So we drive there, and the guy that owned it lives in a trailer park, and so we go knock on the door, and he's not there. So one of the neighbors comes out and said, "Hey, I think he's in the bar."
Which the bar was like across the
Just
street
right
or
across the
something,
street.
right? Of course.
Yeah. So my dad, we drive over to the bar, and my dad walks in and knew the guy's name and said, "Hey, I'm looking for this guy. He's got this '69 Camaro for sale." And they said, "Well, that's him right there." So he said, "Yeah, I'm the one that owns it." So we go back and look at the car, and we were gonna buy it.
Yeah. So hold on just a second.
Yep.
So it was burnished brown.
It was burnished brown with a hockey stick stripe around the front.
Yeah, the white hockey stick
Yep.
stripe, black interior.
Black interior.
Right, which burnished brown, for all the Camaro enthusiasts out there, there's less than 3% of the SSs
Somewhere around there, yep.
in '69 were that. I call it that horrible '70s looking brown. It's not an attractive.
No, it's a goldish brownish, the darkest. I don't know.
If it was, it wouldn't have been a kid who ordered a burnished brown Camaro.
No.
It probably would have been a middle-aged male or a retiree ordering a burnished brown Camaro with white hockey stick stripes, and probably had rally wheels on it. Like
No, it actually had the ETs on it. It had
Okay.
the Krager style chrome wheels, but they were ETs.
Yeah. So it's burnished brown.
Yep.
And you went and looked at it. It was at this guy's trailer.
Yep. And then the guy says, "Well, take it home." He didn't have the title for it. He'd only had it like 2 weeks, and he didn't have the title for it. The guy he bought it from was from Tulsa, and he was waiting for the title from the guy from Tulsa. So, but he was like, "Just go ahead and take it home. I want to get it out of here."
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Well, we don't want to take it without a title," and he just insisted to take it. So he said, "Just give me a deposit or whatever and just take it." And well, my dad had like a $20 bill in his pocket, and he said, "That's all I got." And the guy said, "Okay, I'll take it. Just get the car out of here." So
super fishy.
Yeah,
like
really
a weird.
fishy.
You don't have the title. You're pushing for people to get out of there. You're taking $20 for. How much was the?
$1,400 for the car.
Okay, so you went in for $1,400, and just for frame of reference, in '77, new, you probably could have ordered that car for probably around the 1,800-ish range.
Maybe more than that, a little more, but yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So it retained a pretty good amount
Yeah.
of value, you know. So he's asking $1,400. He's willing to take $20 for it to get it off of his property.
Yeah.
Who knows where that 20 went? Probably right back across the street
Probably
where you
did.
found him. And if you're the guy that owned this, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take a slight at you. Just let's be real. That's probably what happened with it, right? But
Yep.
so you give him the 20. My grandpa gives him the $20.
Yep, we take the car home, and then my dad tells me, he goes, we're putting this in the garage, and we're not driving it, we're not touching it until we get the title, because we think it might be stolen, we don't know.
Yeah.
It's just really weird, you know. So that was the longest, 2 weeks of my life or whatever, waiting to see if this guy's going to get the title. Well, he finally called, had the title.
Yeah.
So we got the title, and then, of course, it was my car then.
Yeah.
So
and it was a 305. It had
it was
305
a
in it.
305 with the 4-speed.
4-speed car.
Yep, an M20 Muncie.
Yep. A true SS car.
True SS car.
Yep. So, pretty sporty. Krager wheels.
Yeah, really,
Krager
for
ETs.
back then, it was cream of the crop.
Yeah.
She's nice car, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it, you know.
Yeah. So you get the title, you're able to drive it. Obviously, that feeling of
Yep.
being able to drive your car for the first time
Right.
and a sports car. I mean, that's a pretty hopped up sports car
Right.
back in 1977.
We didn't realize that back then, but we do now, what they're really like, you know, what they're worth and
Yeah.
how much they mean to you. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yep.
So you get to drive it, and then all of a sudden, you know, you find out that that's probably one of the baddest 305s on the planet.
It was pretty fast. I don't know what it was, but it was a pretty fast car.
It was pretty
For a
fast.
305, it was pretty fast.
Yeah, you had a lot of street, like drag racing.
Yeah, we had a
went
lot of
on.
street brawls with it. And
So tell me, like, when you think back, I know you had this group of friends. Some of them had Chevelles, some of them had Mustangs and things like that. When you think back, what were some of like the most iconic moments in the car that you remember?
oh, man. I don't know. We had it in McPherson, dragging Maine with it probably 2 or 3 times a week. Just stoplight to stoplight, getting in trouble, and never really got arrested, never really got a ticket, just we were beating it up.
Yeah.
That's what it was for, so.
Things were a little more tolerable back then.
A little more tolerable back then, yeah. And, you know, it didn't have the horsepower that you have now.
Yeah.
I mean, the horsepower now is just ridiculous what you can get into them, so.
Yeah. Any races that you would say that you're super proud of that little 305 was able to beat?
I whipped a 351 Cleveland one time, a Cougar, 351 Cleveland with an automatic, and so I remember that. Yeah, that was a pretty memorable moment to beat a Cleveland, you know, because those Ford guys are, you know how they are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We talk about them often. Yeah, and probably power shifting it, no lift shifting
Oh,
it,
yeah.
beating the crap out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what it's built.
Yeah,
to
we
do,
didn't have
but-
rev limiters. We didn't have any of that stuff back then. You just winged it, you know?
Yeah.
Just put your foot to the floor, just power shift it and go. If you miss a gear,
Yep.
usually those lifters will float out before something happens
Yeah,
to
before
them.
something breaks.
Yeah.
Hopefully a valve doesn't contact a piston.
Right. Yeah.
Just hope and pray, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, and I think my mom at one point got left on the side of the road with this car
Oh, yeah.
on a drag race
Yeah,
situation.
I was in like a midnight rendezvous type thing on Highway 81. There was 10 cars out there, and all of a sudden the cop showed up, and I was coming back from racing already, and cop had everybody tied up on the side of the road, and I just kind of blew right by. Just kept going in town. I figured, well, I guess my girlfriend will, she's gonna have to find her own ride back in because I'm not stopping. So nobody ever got in trouble that night, but yeah.
So then you pulled the 305 out of it. You put, you know, a 350
I had
in
a
it,
350 in it for a while.
which you say didn't run as strong, or just wasn't always.
It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Had just a lot, like a mild cam in it, and it was just,
Yeah.
nothing special.
I think that came out of your grandpa's.
That came out of my grandpa's big Caprice, 1970 Caprice. It was a 350, 300 horse
Okay.
with an automatic. So I ended up putting the automatic in and with it,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't what I expected. You know,
So
it ran
then-
a little better, but not like what I thought it was going to. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You'd think those extra 45 cubic inches is going to
Yeah.
give you a lot more, and
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't. It's all about the combination, and what you can put to the ground. I mean,
Right.
back then, you had
yeah, you could just about put everything to the ground back then. I mean,
traction bars and
yeah.
everything back then weren't as good
Yeah.
as they are today. But yeah, so obviously a lot of good memories in the car, right?
Yep.
But then it kind of got lost for a long time. It sat in a barn
Well,
for 15 years.
I wrecked it once, and then we repainted it.
And it wasn't just so everybody knows, it wasn't like it got demolished wreck.
No.
It was like
It was on the borderline of being totaled out.
yeah.
But
yeah,
they
yeah.
decided to fix it up since it was a Camaro. I mean, it was just, yeah.
Yep. And like a barbed wire post came through the floor and all that. I mean, it was
a bad situation, but
yep.
anyhow, got over that, got it repainted. It was like a Cadillac blue with black stripes on it.
Yeah.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then ended up getting married, and then I ended up putting it over at my mom and dad's house in the barn for 5, 6, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And made a mistake of putting plastic over the car tarp also, and that kept the moisture in. And when we went to uncover it, it was not good.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to work really hard to get in the doors. They were kind of like halfway rusted shut, and it was in really bad shape. I just about sold it to a guy, one of my friends that was looking at it, and he didn't want to give me as much money for it as what I wanted out of it. So I decided I'm just going to keep it, and then I decided I'm going to restore it.
Yep.
So that was in 2002.
Yeah. And prior to that, you had a 66 Nova that you drag raced.
Well, that was actually later. No, that was before that. Yeah, I actually
Yep.
drag raced a 66 Nova. That's right.
And we sold that
Yep.
to basically restore this.
Pretty
That-
much so.
a lot of that money went
That's what
towards
happened.
restoring
Yep, that's
this.
right. I remember that.
And
now.
it had a 355 small block in it.
Yep.
A pretty hefty can. It was a cool little small block car.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing crazy. It ran 1180s at the track.
Yep.
I mean, it was a fun little street
Yep.
car, basically.
Yep.
So pulled that motor out of that, sold the shell.
Yep.
Got rid of that car, kept the
Yep.
motor in it, right? And decided to restore this, which I remember. This is where I come into play.
Yeah.
I remember all of these things, Took the car out of the barn. I remember that, and I remember taking it to the body shop.
Had it sandblasted out there at the farm.
Yep, had it sandblasted, which I have pictures of all that, and I'll
Yep.
show those. But had it sandblasted and took it to the body shop, and it was there for 2
2 years and 2 years, 4 months.
Yep, and what once went in there is, I just want it painted, and it turned into
Just wanted a street car out of it. That's all I
Yeah.
wanted. I just wanted a daily driver street car, but it took him so long
yeah,
that we were starting to do more and more things. I would go over there on the weekends, and he would say, "Hey, you ought to strip the firewall down, take all the caulking off, and then I'll paint it, and do the undercarriage." And so got to the place where I'm like, "Hey, I'm doing all this extra work to it. Maybe I want it a little bit nicer now." I mean, because we're going to paint the whole inside of the engine compartment red. So he goes, "Okay, well, we'll do that." And then he spent more and more time on it.
yeah,
And then it wound up like this.
yeah,
And it's more than just a daily driver. It's basically was a trailer queen for
yeah, for a long time.
since 2002 till
Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I would say if I think back to the restoration process, I'd say my most memorable memory is trying to figure out which shade of red to paint it. And we went back and forth between torch red, which
Yep.
is basically what's on a Corvette. They
Yes.
used to call it torch red. It's now red hot or pull me over, whatever. Dodge Viper red,
Yep.
and Porsche red, which is called Guards red.
yeah,
And Guards red, I just remember you always saying, like, it looks a little pink.
Yep.
Like it's got a pinkish tinge.
Yep.
The Viper red was really bright
Yep.
and kind of a little orangey.
Yep.
And the Torch red was almost identical.
Yeah, they're
to the
almost
Viper red.
identical.
And I remember going back and forth.
Yeah.
And finally we decided to paint it Dodge Viper red.
I know. I wanted to keep it the Chevrolet color,
Yeah.
but I just thought the Viper Red, just something about it just looks. I think it's exactly the same, but I just
Yeah,
like
it's close.
It. So We did the Viper red on it then.
And if I remember the paint code right, when Terry gave us the code, I think it's 1996.
I think
Dodge
it is
Viper
96,
red.
yes. Yep.
So it's it's bright. It almost looks orangey when you get it out in the bright sun. So, and then the black stripes. I also, one of my most memorable memories is watching you line those out. And for you guys that don't know and have never restored a car, those stripes are painted on, first of all. Second of all, they basically send you a template, a paper template with no instructions. Just here, you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit, right? And so I remember researching over and over and over again, what's the proper stripe? How does it go?
Measurements.
Yeah, measurements, everything, because on a 69 Camaro, first of all, the stripes always run off the front, right? Some people stop them here, which is kind of how the Mustang did it, right? And then they stop at, that little valance up there, right? And then on the back side, the stripes are actually wider. They're farther apart. They match more of like the ass end of the car than the front end, so they're actually farther apart. So I just remember measuring and everything over and over and over again. You laid them out.
And then the back ones actually, they loop around the wing on the back, and I didn't like that, so I just ran straight off. So I think they look better that way. But yeah, we got the measurements, and I just took, Terry just gave me this tape roll, this really skinny tape roll, and he said, put them on there. So, I'm measuring, doing all the measurements, and just did it all by hand. I don't remember how long it took me to do it, but it's pretty tedious work. It gives you good respect for the paint and body guys. Because they're hard. It's hard to do. I mean, you got to have an eye for it.
And then I remember it came home, and I remember literally every single night. I probably wasn't out there as much as you would like me to be. I was out there every now and then, but every night until about midnight, it was working on the car, reupholstering the seats, polishing the wheels. Then it was, putting the engine back in it. I think we actually did a refresh on the engine at that time.
Did a refresh on the engine,
And then, putting the headliner in it, and it sat out to let it stretch, and spraying the trunk and putting the bumpers on, and then all the, it just, every night it felt like a year solid. You were out in the garage.
It was actually, I think I got it done like in 4 months, but it was every night. When I get home from work at 5 o'clock, I'd go out there, work till midnight. And every weekend I would start 7 o'clock, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and work till midnight, sometimes 2 in the morning. I mean, I was bound and determined. I wanted it done now. I mean, I waited for it for 2.5 years.
Well, and not to mention, something that's really cool is that you did it all. Everything except paint and body on this car, you did it 100%, which most people say, here's $100,000, build me a car, they go pick it up. So it's fun to see something come together, obviously. It's fun to do it yourself, but there's just an extra layer of sentiment that comes with that.
I actually restored the transmission on it also. Took it all apart, put new synchronizers in it, all new gasket or seals and all that stuff, and rear end, changed the rear end on. It's got a 373 rear, 12-bolt 373 rear end in it. So change that out too. Different drive shaft. And just kind of threw everything together.
And then somewhere along the way, this gray Camaro shows up in our garage. 67 RS Camaro. Kind of a interesting circumstance. We won't go into the details, but get this opportunity to buy this car. It's crate motor, like a little 283 in it, 4-speed car. A cool little car, right? That comes along, and we're going to car shows with this and all of that, and fast forward a bunch of years, right? I learned how to drive in that 69 or the 67.
When you were what, 15 maybe?
15, learned how to drive a stick in it, which was an adventure because driving a stick in a 67 Camaro is very different than driving a stick in a new vehicle.
That's true.
So that was an adventure. I remember the seat didn't even hardly go far enough forward for me to be able to reach, and you know, the father and son moment of like, you let the clutch out, you know, like all of those everything you would see on a Facebook reel was happening live in person.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, that's how you learn, right?
Yep.
A little tough love every now and then, and a little bit of encouragement.
Sorry, I'm not going to be nice about this, but this is what you did wrong. And you got to correct that. So
there's a difference between tough love and just being direct, right?
Yeah.
So then, you know, I move away, you know, college and all that kind of stuff, and the gray Camaro finds me again after a bunch of interesting circumstances in our family. You were kind of like, hey, I don't have a reason to hold on to it. I got people that are interested. I might sell it. If you want it, you can have it. We'll figure it out, right? So I buy the car off of you, and I went to work on that, put a new motor in it, put a new trans in it. Put a new shifter on it, new rear, basically rebuilt the rear end in it, did a few odds and ends things on it, basically made it a cool little 500 horsepower street pounder.
Right.
Like just a fun little car. Put some wheels on it, some cow tracks, some new springs, like just made it a fun little car, right? And one day we have a conversation about, hey, I love the gray car, I'm retiring, I would love to have something I can drive. And you want the red car, which is basically your inheritance at some point. Why don't we just do it now? So we swapped.
Yep.
This came to Nebraska we were living in Nebraska. The gray car went back to Kansas. And this has been with me really ever since then. That was what, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah,
now 3 at least.
At least 3 years, yes.
And since then, it's gotten new motor. It's got a 383 small block in it now.
Yep.
Built by a guy in Nebraska. It's got a M22 now, transmission in it, 299 first gear, so it's a pretty sweet little transmission. It gets up and goes in first gear. Still a 4-speed car, still a Muncie though. Put axles in it, put a rear girdle on the back, put some cow tracks on it. Did a lot of stuff to it so far.
Yep.
Right? And a lot of little odds and ends, like upgraded ignition system,
hoses,
the electric fan, just a lot of little things, right?
Yep.
But
just
they
kind of made it yours.
Yeah, kind of put my little signature on it. And now, I mean, the car put out, 525 horsepower with 511 torque, I think is what it was. It's a handful. It's a fun little car.
That's a lot for a 383.
Yeah, it's a fun little car.
Without any, what do you want to call it? Without any help. We're talking no nitrous, no.
Yeah, no power adders, but it's also, you know, it hums down the road. I mean, we drive at 45, 50 miles an hour, and it's quiet, you know, and it's got good.
It's quiet until you get on.
Yeah, table manners, right? But yeah, I mean, 500 horsepower is nothing now, but it's fun for the street.
It's fun on the street.
Yeah, and in one of these cars, 500 horsepower feels a lot more than it actually is, because they're not built like a new car. They're not quiet. They're not anything like that anymore. So yeah, I just kind of put my own little spin on it, and it's been with me ever since. I do drive it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he drives it.
Yeah.
I mean, all I did was drive it off and on the trailer to go to car shows.
Yeah.
I'd probably been to 100 car shows with it.
Yep.
Through all those years.
Yeah, and there's trophies out the wazoo. But yeah, I drive it. I drive it everywhere around here. We live in Greenville, South Carolina, so you'll probably see it out and about at some point. But yeah, we drive it, and then when my dad comes into town, we drive it probably a little harder than it normally gets driven, just for fun. But yeah, it's a sweet little car. It's a ton of sentimental value in our family, like a ton.
Yeah. Well, it's since 1977, so 48 years.
Yeah.
It's been in my family for 48 years, and I don't ever want it to go out of my family because there's too many people that regret that. I mean, I regret some of the sales I did on other, selling other vehicles, but this one here would have been, one of those that you'd be looking for later on in life. So glad I didn't sell it. It's the best thing I ever did, best choice I ever did. Best choice I ever did was keeping the 67. Now I have it. Now I beat that thing up all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then the history behind when I went to restore it, how I was.
Oh yeah, we missed that.
Yeah.
That's right.
How it was really fishy. I mean, I had to think back all those years since 1977 when it was fishy that we thought maybe the car was stolen, so we didn't know. And here I've had it for however many years and gonna restore it. And we heard this story about one of our friends that had a car that was, they put it in the NCIC as a stolen vehicle, and you can keep that VIN in there forever. And one of our friends had this car that he had bought and was restoring it and found the numbers didn't match. There's numbers, different matching numbers in different locations of the car, and found out that the numbers didn't match. It was a Mustang, so they ran the VIN on it and found out it was still an NCIC as a stolen car. So actually it was stolen from a guy in Colorado, so they called this guy. He's still alive, and he said, that's my car. So legally, that guy can actually come pick up that car because it's still his car.
Yep.
So me being worried about that, I decided, well, before I restore it and put a ton of money in this thing, and then even if I get stopped, I'm going to get the VIN run probably, and then it'll come as a stolen car, and then it won't be my car. So I had to make the decision to run the VIN, and then so I have the old title, and it was in not the guy from, I have the guy's name from Hutchinson, but the one that he bought it from in Tulsa, I had his name on this title. And so I looked it up on the internet, and what is it, 40 years later, or 30 years later, this guy still exists in Tulsa, has the same address and everything. So I call him on the phone, and he's like, yep. He goes, what color was it? And I said, burnished brown. He goes, I don't remember that color, but he said, if it's got my name on it, I guarantee it was mine, because he said I was buying like 20, 30 of these cars back then, and I was working on them and selling them for $500 more, and I was making a ton of money. So he said, I guarantee you, if it has my name on title, I had the car. So then I finally went and had one of the police officers run a VIN on it, and it came back as in my name, so it never was stolen. So
Yeah.
we got that accomplished. So yeah.
Yeah, that would have been devastating to have to give it up at that point.
Yeah, well, even like now.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, totally.
I've never been stopped. We've never wrecked it
I've never
since
been
then.
stopped in it either.
But yeah, if you get stopped today and they'd run it,
Yeah.
you'd have to give it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think, obviously a lot of memories with the car. Again, it's a ton of sentimental value in our family, and it's been with us a long time. So if anybody ever thought that I just bought it the way that I found it,
no,
that's
you've done
not
a
the
lot.
case. There's been
You've done a lot of work to it yourself.
Yeah, we
just
both
like you
did
did
a
the
lot.
gray one.
Yeah.
So
We did a lot of work to it, but yeah, man, I mean, this car is, when I think about our relationship, I think this car has been the staple of our relationship. If we talk about anything more than anything else, it's this car, or we talk about restoring it, or we talk about, when it had the 305 in it before I was even alive. I mean, we talk about this car a lot. It's
been through a lot.
And it's been when it was being restored, I was 14, 15, something like that. So I was not young enough to or not old enough to really respect what was going on. I was involved in sports and all of these things. So it was probably a point of contention for a long time, and then became really a bonding piece.
When you bought the gray
us.
one, that's when things changed.
Yeah, things changed, and that gray car, dude, it's a lot of fun. And someday, I'll obviously have it back, as long as you don't pile it up, racing a Trans Am or something like that. But yeah, I mean, just a really cool story, and all around. I mean, this is obviously a different coaching in cars than we normally do. Normally, we're talking to business owners, how they grew their business, and all of that. But I just felt like this car deserved its own episode. I don't drive it on coaching in cars that much, because most people complain, oh, it's no air conditioning and it's hotter than the surface of the sun here in South Carolina. So it's just one of those things where
with the black interior yet. Too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly
no wing windows on a 69.
A creature of comfort for people. So so I don't drive it a lot, but I think it just deserved an opportunity to have its story told. And who knows what the story before you was, and who knows what the story after us will be, but I do have 2 little boys and they talk about Camaros all the time, so I would assume it's probably going to stay in the family for a really, really long time. That would be my hope.
Yep.
One day they'll be saying Grandpa built this car, so.
We'll have to start your kids out, maybe like a 67 Camaro with a 4-cylinder in it.
Yeah.
With a 3 on a tree or something.
We need to find a straight 6, like 63 or 64 Nova, 4-door.
There you go.
The synchronizers are completely rounded off on it, so you can't mess anything up. And, put some white walls on it and some hubcaps and let her ride.
Let them learn how to drive.
Yeah.
And then when they start respecting it, then say, okay, we'll move up a little bit.
Yeah.
But not quite to 500 horse yet.
I got one boy that would definitely respect it. My youngest would not respect anything. That thing would be wrapped around a tree in a heartbeat. He is just a bull in a china shop, right? So, but yeah, I wanted you to tell the story, because me telling the story is just not the same, right? I know the story, I've heard it, but it's just different, right?
Well, so many memories, so many years. I mean, I can't even explain.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you all the stories, because you can't even remember all the stories. Every weekend, every week we had it there was a story. Whether it was me and my cousin racing together, or me and his friends. His friends had Firebirds. They had this souped up 351 Cleveland old Ford truck.
Oh yeah.
And all kinds of different varieties, Mustangs and stuff like that. We were constantly, back when we were dragging, people don't drag Maine anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's back when we were dragging Maine, and it was just a constant street light to street light,
Yeah, gas was 25 cents a gallon. It was all leaded.
Actually, it was 47. I think when I first started driving this, when I was 16, I think it was 47 cents.
Yeah.
At that
I was
time.
in 77, so that's probably, like gas went up a lot in the 70s because of everything that was going on. And I think it was Carter that did you can go back to the 70s and it's all the smog era and all the lines at the gas stations because gas was going up so much. So yeah, that makes sense. But it was all leaded gasoline too.
Right.
So that car has probably done its fair share of destroying the environment, if you believe in that whole thing. But yeah, man, a lot of gas burned, a lot of fun, and
a lot of tire smoke.
A hell of a lot of smiles. Right. Keeps giving smiles daily.
It's about smiles per mile.
Yeah.
It's not about gallons per mile.
Yeah, exactly.
Miles per gallon.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to tell the story. I mean, you're not here that often. I wish you were here more often. It's just, we're a long ways away. So when we get the opportunity to talk about it, then we get the opportunity to talk about it on camera. I think that was the biggest thing. I wanted to make sure that we got it right. So there you go. So if you guys have any questions about the car, obviously comment, and I can answer any questions. If I can't, I'll reference the encyclopedia of this car, and we'll obviously get questions answered. But yeah, if you have questions, please ask them. I'd love to interact with you. I'd love to, tell more people about this story. So obviously share the podcast, or if you know anybody that does vehicle interviews that's around here. I know some people in Atlanta and Florida that come up here every now and then. I would love to get the opportunity to tell more about the story of the car and get it out there, because I think it's unique these days. There's just not a lot of stories of vehicles left, unfortunately. So
that generation's going away. People don't care so much about first gen Mustangs and first gen Camaros and old cars like that. It's just a different world now.
Yeah, there's a new era of muscle cars that are out there that have a following, and these are kind of not forgotten about, but when you see them, it's a unique experience, right? So awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love you.
Love you too.
You know that.
You know that too. Yeah.
All right.